Franz, what does the national team jersey and playing for your country mean to you personally?
I think it's always a great honor to be able to play for a national team. I know the way I look at it is that I want to be a part of making basketball here in Germany bigger, and I think the national team is the best tool we have as players to do that. Kids grow up and watch the national team, and I remember doing that as well as a kid. So, like I said, I want to be a part of that movement.
How is EuroBasket different in intensity and focus compared to other competition?
I think every time do or die games, and especially national team games, when you play for your country, and especially when the time you have with the team is kind of short or way shorter than during a season with a team. I think those games are always super physical, and every player is putting it all out there. So I think that's what makes those games super fun to play and hopefully fun to watch as well.
What's the biggest mental challenge in this tournament? How do you prepare for it mentally?
I think for me the best way to look at important tournaments or games is just to go one game at a time and just kind of stay in the moment. Obviously you want to fight for a good position in group play, and I think it's a tight schedule, so I think being mentally sharp is really important, and making sure that hopefully when you get to the do or die games that you're not burned out.
Do you feel pressure, excitement, or both? How do you handle that?
Yeah, I definitely feel both, I would say. I think that's part of being a basketball player, the excitement before a game, sometimes a little nervousness, and then when you go out there and compete, I think that feeling can be addictive sometimes. So I think EuroBasket is no different, and I think pressure, you can look at it as a negative thing, but I think there's also a way to look at it as something positive, something that you work for a long time, and always realizing that there's so many people that would switch with you right now.
You won the World Cup 2 years ago. Now you're aiming to win EuroBasket with almost the same group. How big of an achievement would that be?
Yeah, it would be a massive achievement. I think winning anything is super difficult. I think winning something for your country obviously is super special, and we felt that 2 years ago, and we're doing everything we can to have that feeling again, and bring home a gold medal for the country.
How motivated are you as a team to follow up the World Cup title with a European title?
How what?
So how motivated are you as a team?
I mean, we're very motivated. I think obviously the World Cup was fun, but I feel like the other two tournaments where we came up short or lost in the semifinal, I think both of those tournaments we felt like we had a good chance of winning those two, and or at least getting to the final. And so I think these opportunities don't come so often. So I think you gotta make sure that you take advantage.
Do you feel you're entering the tournament not just as contenders, but as a team to beat?
Oh, I don't know. You'd have to ask the other teams. I think the best teams, the best players go into competition, just kind of focusing on them and tuning out all the outside noise. And with us, that's no different. I think that's what we want to do during the tournament.
What makes this group of players special?
I think what makes us special is the characters that we have. Also the timing of when players are in their career. A lot of these guys, a lot of us have played together for a bunch of years, and some are also on kind of the tail end of their national team career. So they want to make the most out of every opportunity they get. And for me, it was really fortunate to come into a group that already had established chemistry, already had been through tough times too. And I think that mix of, first of all, we got all great guys, but that mix of some older veteran guys that have experienced everything in Europe, and you know, in American basketball as well. To mix that with, you know, super young talent and, you know, some new motivation and some new mentality as well. I think that's what makes our group special.
Playing wise, what do you think are the biggest strengths of your team?
I think our biggest strength is our versatility, just all the different ways that we can score in transition, with speed, with size, with shooting. And I think our IQ, I think we got extremely smart players. I think we already have built great chemistry over the last, you know, 3-4 years. And you know, I think all those things go on for defense as well. I think we got a good group with the right mentality, and I think that's the most important thing.
Which team is the most dangerous in your group?
In our group, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Obviously, Lithuania has great basketball history. I think they always have a really good team. But I think you get in trouble when you know, rank teams like that. I think you know, you gotta just play one game at a time and realize that all teams have a lot of talent and play a certain rate. And I think you gotta find a way to take that way away in the game. And that's usually the team that, you know, comes out on top.
Which game will be the most intense?
It's a good question. Obviously, usually the do-or-die games are really intense. But honestly, in group stage, you know, especially because the schedule is really tight, you know, every team is fighting for a position. So I think it just kind of depends on the flow of the game and also the flow of the tournament. But I'm preparing for, you know, what is it, 7, 8, 9 really difficult games.
Which teams do you see as the biggest threats in this tournament?
I think France got a really good team. I think Serbia has a really good team. But that's not to say that Greece and Slovenia and, you know, obviously Spain, Lithuania, all those teams are always really dangerous. And like I said, I think you get in trouble when you underestimate people.
So we're talking about 3 players starting. What, in your opinion, makes Giannis such a special player?
Yeah, Giannis is, you know, I think you always have to know where he's at. You have to game plan for him as a team. Obviously, he's super athletic, super fast, super strong, and usually the tallest guy on the floor. So, you know, you can't just expect one guy to defend him well. So, I think that's what makes him really special. And you know, obviously his talent is special, but he's also playing extremely hard. So every time you play against him, you got to be ready for, you know, a physical fight in a basketball way.
Talking about special player Doncic, what is about him?
Yeah, I think Luka. You know, I think there's few players in the world that, you know, as versatile or can manipulate the game as well as he does offensively. Same thing, I'd say you can't just guard him with one player. Have to kind of switch up the you know, the looks that you give him, and you know, also be okay with him making some tough looks, and yeah, just kind of try to make it hard, play one against 5 every time in the game, and you know, kind of sometimes also be okay and tip your hat to some good players.
And last but not least, what makes Jokic a special player?
I think Jokic and Doncic, actually, I think what makes them special is that, you know, they're most tough to guard when they're passing and you know, getting their teammates involved. So, but at the same time, they, you know, can pretty much score one-on-one every time. So that makes it really hard to game plan for them, and that's why they're some of the best players in the world.